Tell them the truth.
I hope you'll find some paradise.
When were you born and where are you from?
I was born in Brownwood, Georgia, 1947, February the 8th.
Did you ever witness segregation or discrimination?
Yes, lots of times. It still goes on.
Then tell us about it. When was the first thing you remember of segregation and discrimination back in the days?
Well, we was living in Brownwood, Georgia, and some white men came up in a truck, and they say, "Come on out of there, Ian." I didn't want to say the word, nigga.
Yes.
But anyway, they sit out for a while. They was drinking beer and alcohol. Then said, "Come on out of there, we coming in." My grandmother at that time, she was laying on the floor. She had us laying on the floor. So lay down and be quiet. So when they said that, "Come on out of there, we coming in," and she got up and went to the door and opened it and told him he's not here. He said, "Well, tell him that when we see him, we got something for him." And that was my first real hard contact with racism. Because what they had guns. It was in a pickup truck like they was going to a party. They was partying already, and that was my first experience with hardcore Chris racism.
Wow. And was the boy there?
Huh? No, he was gone. He had left the state. I don't know where he went, but I never saw him again.
What do you think happened to him?
I don't know if he stayed in Georgia, he was going to be killed outright. The second time, I guess, I run into racism. My sister had a boyfriend, and that boyfriend was seeing another lady down the street. They killed him.
Why did they kill him?
Because they told him to leave that black woman alone.
But they're both black.
Yeah. But the man that killed him wasn't black. He was white. He had 4 or 5 kids by a black woman in the South.
My goodness.
Yeah, that was real tough. Anyway, shit, I run into lots and lots of racism. I guess the real hardcore one was I went to town. Me and my partner was gonna get some Stowbought whiskey, as they say, and they had moonshine, but we wanted Stowbought whiskey. And we went to Dawson to get it. And while I don't know where he went to one of the cafes that they had for blacks. And so I got in the car and I was driving, and he threw the lights on, the police siren and stuff. What I did? I hit the gas. I wouldn't stop it because I figured they were gonna do something. Because what? I was running from him.
Wow.
Running from him. Yeah, he looked like Bernie Fife there, little bitty man, white man. Anyway, I jumped out the car and started to run, and he shot, and it missed my head by inches. Yeah, he arrested me, took me back to the jailhouse. When he got there, he started busting me in the head and shit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were locking. They locked me up. Then they called all of their buddies to come get some. They wanted to beat my butt. All of them wanted a piece because they said it was a bad nigga.
Were you fighting back against that?
No, I was just trying to protect my vital parts. They was hitting me with nightsticks and kicking me and all the good stuff that they wanted to do to me. Anyway, they threw me back in the cell. I said, shit, I'm lucky I'm still alive. And then I heard the door go, kalam, come on out of there, nigga.
Oh.
And what had happened, one of their partners didn't get none. They wanted to make sure he did, so they whooped my ass some more. I was rolling, trying to stay away from, keep from getting in vital positions there. And then they threw me back in there. I said, boy, that was a rough night in Dawson, Georgia.
And how long were you in that jail cell?
Probably about 2 or 3 months. The strange thing happened there. One of the sheriffs that was in on the ass kicking, he invited me to go for boat ride.
While you were still in jail?
Yeah, while I was still in jail. Anyway, I stayed in jail there for about 2-3 months, and then he said, "We're gonna let you go, and we don't want you to come back here." So they bought me a ticket, and I got on the plane, headed for Job Corps in California. Flew there. We spent I spent some time there in job corps.
Was the prison charges on your record?
I really don't know. I didn't go back to find out.
So you
Yeah.
still were able to get a job?
Oh yeah, but I'm not there. He said don't come back for at least a couple of years.
Wow.
So heck, I didn't go back period. I went and visit one time. Yeah, I left as soon as possible because I knew they wasn't playing. They wanted to. Some of them wanted to kill me. I don't know. I guess the high sheriff wouldn't let them. So yeah, I got away lucky with that. Still alive. Yeah.
What did your parents teach you to avoid getting in trouble?
He said go out there and yes sir and no sir to them. I said okay. I went out there. Yeah. No. I wouldn't. They had to whoop my ass. I wasn't finna congratulate them on doing that.
And then what happened when you didn't say yes sir and no sir?
Oh, nothing happened. Scared them pretty much. But me, I was not afraid, and I don't know why. Why did I invite trouble like that? But what? When I said it, yeah, I meant it. And hell, they were afraid of white people, and with good reason.
Yes.
But, I never was afraid of them. I don't know why. But hey, that's another chapter in my life.
What happened to the black people who spoke up against these violent acts?
A lot of them disappeared. It was actionable to hang a black person.
Did you ever see a black person get hanged?
Yes, and no, I saw it, and I didn't want to be a part of that. But what? They often had parties, and then they'd hang them and a black man. Oh yeah, that was the KKK. And hell, they say well, that was during the time Martin Luther King came to town. They say participate with Martin Luther King, you don't have to lose your job, and you don't have to get out of here. It was better now. They still kill us. That's okay. That's progress. We made progress. We ain't no longer afraid to die for what we believe in. They took life without any regrets or any afterthought. They had black folks real bad. Guess I never got over that.
Yes.
Have you? As you wanted it.
Have I
run into racism?
I don't think I ever ran into racism in my
Not
whole
like that.
No.
Yeah. But at some point you had to run into what they call your name that you didn't like or whatever.
No, the only thing is when I cut my hair short and I had an afro, and people would comment on that.
What would they say?
I don't even know. I can't remember because it wasn't really hurtful to me.
Well, they wasn't being nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That's they are a bit better. So since the younger generations, they didn't want to participate in a lot of them did. It's still going on right today.